Shoot Josh in the foot with the ball game.
Y'all, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Truth Talk.
Call it Josh Trailer House.
I've been drinking whiskey tonight. Lost my job, can't pay the light. In the morning I'll be alright. 'Cause I've been drinking whiskey all night. I said,
You done?
It's loud.
All right, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey. Tonight we got Shelby Ballenger out here tonight. She's from Princeton, Texas, right?
I am.
Yeah, she released her first music in like 2016 with a self-titled EP.
That was my baby Shelbs.
Hell yeah. And she's been around our scene for a while now, so we're going to talk some shit and get to know her tonight. Tonight's bottle of whiskey, actually, is sponsored by Amy Johnson with Top Shelf Talent.
Ow. Woo-woo.
Thank you, Amy. We love you. She's actually sitting over here in the corner. She just don't have a camera on her. But, all right, 2016, first EP. Tell us about that.
I was a cart girl, and I was driving this golf cart around and serving drinks to old angry men. And I was like, I could be at home, like, practicing guitar and writing music. So I quit that. Well, I wrote Messing with a Cowboy on the cart, and then I quit a couple weeks later. And they were so sweet. I didn't have a computer. I grew up like the Amish at my parents' house, and they let me come back and upload my EP on their computer. So
At the
shout
job
out.
that you quit?
That's awesome.
Shout
Hell
out to
yeah.
Westridge Golf Course.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been a ride. I've been doing it 8 years full time now. So I keep waiting on the right time, right person, but it hasn't happened yet.
Hey, full time is an understatement, right? 'Cause
Oh, you stay working.
And we will say that, like, how many days last year?
Turn Josh's
You
mic
know the
down.
number.
I had 223 shows last year.
Yeah. I tried to book her for something one time. And I was like, it's like a month from now, and she was like, dude, I'm booked for like 4 or 5 months, something stupid like that.
When I booked
I
you those
paid them
shows
bills.
at Sweetwater last year, they were the ones that I booked you were like months in advance. You're like, just give me these here. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I'm my own booking manager, promoter, all the things. So I would rather be booked up than be scrambling every month because that's super stressful.
So let's go back to that 2016 Shelbs.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We do. So I saw your post the other day, and I saw a very large announcement by a company called Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey.
Who the fuck are those guys?
And there was a little talk about a story about Shelby and South by Southwest
my
Festival.
manifestation.
Let's talk about it
Yeah.
a little.
So I saw this post for South by Southwest. I had no idea what it was, but I started clicking on it, and it was just all of these like eccentric artists, and it looked like the most fun time ever. And I've always wanted to go, but I was like, I'm not going until I'm playing there. And here we are, 14 years later, getting to play because of you guys. So I
I
appreciate
hadn't
you
even
guys.
heard that.
Oh,
I didn't know that was a thing.
So this is going to be your first South by Southwest experience
It is.
playing?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
me too.
So backing it up,
Me too.
how did this start? How did you
Me
get into
too.
music? Like, what made you decide, I'm going to pick up a guitar and start singing?
I've always loved to sing. I always tell the story, but in like kindergarten when it was show and tell and everybody was bringing like their favorite action figure or their favorite My Little Pony or whatever, like I would always bring my karaoke machine and I would sing some songs for the class. So I've always loved to sing. And then when I turned 18, I got my first car and I started going to open mic nights, but I didn't know how to play any instrument. So I was bringing karaoke CDs. And one time I was at Hank's and my CD scratched and it was the most embarrassing thing ever. So I was like, I'm learning an instrument. So I kind of played piano, but that's kind of hard to tote around. So I went to Guitar Center and saw the most affordable guitar that I could get, and it was a little Yamaha. Her name's Agnes. I still got her. And I just started YouTube and stuff, and I learned like 3 chords and the truth, and then nobody could stop me.
So with the South by Southwest lineup, I will address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of established artists on that list, and I was looking through it the other day. Shelby Ballenger is the only woman on that list,
Let's
and
go.
we're very, very proud to have you
First
represent.
lady. I love that.
For sure.
I mean, this has been a long time coming. When y'all first started this thing, I was like the second interview lined up, and then I had to move it, and then I had to move it again.
Kept
and then,
canceling.
and then we didn't come around back to it until I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and then I got sick again. And I was like, I swear I want to come. It never lined up, but now the stars have aligned, and here I am.
I'm going to address the rumors. We went on a nationwide talent search, and that's how we landed Mr. Brandon Callies with the podcast.
For real.
That was what that whole gap was. We just took a break off till we fell in love with somebody. It's all his fault.
That's nice. It's very nice to hear.
They brought me on. It got a little bit more organized, and we brought Brandon on. And he's just like organized as shit. Now we're like getting shit done.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
It's kind of nice.
We struck out first, but
All I do is get drunk on. All I do is get drunk on camera.
for sure.
They brought me in like Corey's gonna help this out so much, and I'll just come in here and get fucked up while we're filming shit.
What a douche.
I feel like you got the best job. You just sit over
Yeah.
there and drink and bullshit.
He don't even
Everybody knows I like to party too, so when we have events, everything it works out. I bring a lot of people.
He's a damn weatherman. He can get it wrong most of the time, and he still gets to show up to work.
That's actually not. That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
Josh-
talent in this room, so
And Josh is
Bye.
not one of them.
Hey, we went left to right. Look, that's how the talent flows right there. It's right around the corner.
Well, I want to know a little bit more about. So, as a male vocalist, I know like there's some typical what you hear of like influences and certain things when milestones of like people want to sound like this or they emulate that. I want to hear about you as a female vocalist. Like what made you model your sound like the way it sounds now and how you got to where you are?
well, I was like a CD girl. So my first CD was Britney Spears, and I got it, and I opened the like album art, and it turned into like this big ass poster, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And then, I mean, that's just how I started. I liked a lot of pop music, but I couldn't sing like Britney Spears. I couldn't get that tone. And then I got the Dixie Chicks CD, and I could sing that thing from first to last song. And that album came with, or the album art came with like the lyrics inside. It was all over. Like I just memorized every single song.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized like, oh, I kind of have like a country tone, and I can kind of sound like Natalie. And but I'm very eclectic, so I like country music and pop music, and I can get down with Eminem and like early Lil Wayne. So I have a lot of influences. But then as I got older and started songwriting, then it was like Jason Isbell and Zane Williams and people who write their own stuff, Brandon Jenkins. I love Stoney LaRue, but he doesn't typically write all of his music, but that's another big influence for me too. That man can play the guitar and sing his ass off.
So Zane Williams.
Zane Williams.
You want to talk about that?
I
That's a homie.
finally,
That's
You want to talk about that?
I'm finally on the bill for Zane Williams. So we are like the opener of the opener of the opener, but we're still on the same bill as the Wilder Blue. So that's in March. I get to play with Lacey Ingram. So
Hell yeah.
it's
Very
so
cool.
much
Where's that going to be at?
downtown Forney. They're doing like a Texas Independence Day jam. So Colton Mathis is going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun
He
time.
will also be in South by Southwest playing with Mr. Braden Stewart.
Speaking of,
That's going to be so much fun.
Speaking of a musical influence too, the first time I ever heard you was, I'm pretty sure, at Sweetwater again, which we mentioned every episode. But as soon as I walked in, you were playing "Drops of Jupiter" by Train. So I mean, your shit's, and that's still the only thing that I request every time I go.
it is funny because I'm pretty sure that's the first song I heard from her too.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
she kills that song.
But you were randomly, I was walking by, going somewhere, and I can't remember, on Main Street in Royce City, and you were doing the Cookston Court thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And I walked by, and just kind of when I hear music, and then I went, "Who's this?" And so that's how I started like booking you and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, was randomly running into you at Cookston Court, and that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of something unique about my sets is girl songs are so high pitched and kind of whiny and nasally, and I don't have that voice. So a lot of my covers are like male songs that I just kind of bring the pitch up a little bit. But I feel like that fits my voice better.
That's cool though. That's an art in itself to take like the other gender and like make it sound like you wrote it, like you have that command over the audience.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know. It's like the lyrics for me. Like if a song hits me the right way, like I'm covering it just because I get the vibe from it.
No.
So I never play with like an iPad or anything. And then people get pissed at my shows because they'll be like, "Oh, play this or that," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know it." And they're like, "Well, it's easy." And I'm like, "Here, do you want to do it?" Like,
I have had that same conversation with a woman. There was somebody that came up and asked me to do the is it salt and pepper? The shoop.
yeah.
Yeah. What? And she wanted to argue with me. She wanted to say, "You know that song?" I said, "Ma'am, I know that song. But I
Everybody
don't
knows that
know
song.
how to play that song." And she said, "Of course you do." And I said, "Well, then you play it."
He wore that same toboggan in the video. Don't let him lie to you.
I was in Salt and Pepper. You kidding me?
So I have a quick question. So with that being said, and talking about covers and everything else and different things, how does it feel to be asked to South by Southwest based on people that want you to play your own songs?
I love that. I get really intimidated to play my own stuff out because, I mean, you're your own like worst critic. And I think like some of my lines are cheesy or people aren't going to get it. Like Colors, for example, I have a line that says you're Roy G. Biv in a Dixie cup. And everyone's like, "What is Roy G. Biv?" And I'm like, "You don't remember in school? Like that's what they taught you to learn the rainbow." So
How do they not get that line?
I get scared to play
People are
my own
stupid.
stuff. So the minute someone requests an original, like my whole heart just bursts because that's what I want to do.
You absolutely killed that song.
Yeah.
You know that's what we're expecting in South by
Oh,
Southwest.
That's all I want to do. So
We don't want
excited for
anything
that.
else.
I hope
Like,
if you
whole
learned,
set.
I hope if you
Your
learned
song.
anything from coming into the Whiskey Locker, that you are an amazing artist and your original music is badass. So
Thank you.
please play that.
Aw.
Like make more of that. Like we need
Appreciate
more of
that.
that. So we expect you to bring that to South by Southwest.
Oh, absolutely.
But like at the very end, it drops Jupiter.
Stop. That, the Airbnb after party.
Okay, deal.
Bring out the covers.
Okay.
Corey's
But
going to be
it's-
crying by 3 o'clock. He ain't going to handle it.
No, we had in our conversation Saturday. I was told to have to stay coherent until after the whole party's over.
We can just cut the next band by like 3 minutes so she can play Drops of Jupiter for you.
For
We're gonna
sure.
be like 3 sets in. Martin's gonna come around the corner. I'm at the bar taking a shot. He's like, "No."
Well, it's like it's less intimidating when you know going in that it's like a songwriter showcase, and that's what's expected of you. It's different when you're playing a 3-hour show for people who just want to hear stuff they can sing along to and that they know. So
Yeah.
you
Absolutely.
feel
I know
more pressure to
exactly-
play covers.
I know
Dude.
exactly what you mean by that. Most definitely.
That's cute, but you were invited because you're a badass.
Yeah, you are.
Appreciate you.
It's kind of badass too because everybody we have going is gonna play nothing but originals in a completely new town, away from our entire area. It's badass.
Well, dude, nobody comes to South by Southwest. They don't like book a hotel and fly in from Ohio just to
To hear covers.
Yeah, to hear covers, you know.
But
they're
Shelby said it best during the announcement. Shelby was like, "We're bringing the Whiskey Locker to ATX." I was like,
let's go.
"Let's do it."
I'm excited. And I'm glad that I have enough material to cover, the 45-minute set or whatever we have. So that also makes me feel good that I'm like, yeah, I have so many songs that I don't even have to worry about playing a cover because I got my own shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, that makes us proud. Like we're bringing out there, everybody, we're proud of. And so I hope that they all know that. I mean, they're watching this, hopefully. Like, that's what this is about. Real musicians.
Me and Cody Cresswell, we're going to
There's
kick it
no
off.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like there's no auto tune. There's no bullshit. It's just wood, steel, and vocals. And that's all there is to it. So
Fuck yeah.
thank you for being a part of that.
Thank you guys.
So while we're here talking about cool stuff, why don't we bring up the sponsor for tonight?
I already did that.
Top
Top
Shelf
Shelf
Talent.
Top shelf talent, Amy Johnson.
I could talk all day about Miss Amy Johnson.
And that's why I
That's
brought
like
it
your
up
best
again.
friend.
That's why I brought it up again. Let's go.
I love her so much. I mean, we just kind of bonded over, well, I don't want to say bonded. I met you because I needed a radio promoter. And then, I mean, we just started hanging out and it was like an immediate bond with us. We're just like homies.
Yeah, now y'all are bad influences.
So
Now every time we hang out, it's just like I can't get enough of her. I mean, the last time I came, what was that? What was I doing here?
A random open mic you came to.
No, like last week.
No, last
What was
Thursday.
that? Oh, last Thursday. What was that? Somebody was playing or something. I don't know. So we
Oh,
started.
Dakota Ritter and Chris Cunningham were playing.
no, that
No,
was
Chris
He's back there
Hey,
flashing
hold on,
lights on us.
hold
'Cause
on,
he's doing this,
hold
he's
on.
doing
No,
this
it
music
was-
shit.
it
Hold on,
was
because this is
Brandon.
important. Brandon and
It
Carissa
was
Carter.
Brandon and Carissa. Yeah.
Was it Tuesday? I thought it was Thursday.
It was a
That
Tuesday.
was Tuesday.
That
Yeah.
was-
Son of a bitch.
Brandon played with a very
Yeah.
talented lady that we've been
Carissa,
around,
dude.
Carissa
Carissa.
Carter.
Yeah, that girl can wail.
She's coming up.
I've heard a lot about her.
Yeah, we're gonna have her out here soon.
Yes.
She's got original.
Oh.
She's got everything.
And Simple Man, like, I've never heard a girl
No,
sing
that
Simple
fucking
Man.
that
and
fucking
just-
Dorothy cover. The song called "Flawless" by Dorothy. She killed that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I came to watch you guys, and Amy asked if I was coming, and I was like, well, I'm glad you're going to be there. And so we started at Sweetwater, and we closed that down, and then we went
Y'all trying
somewhere else.
Y'all were trying to get
Oh,
me
and
to
we
come
went
with you to Bearded Monkey. Y'all were like, we're just gonna
Shut
go to
that
Bearded.
down. Then we went to Game Time and stayed there till like
Hang-
2:35.
Hang time.
Or Hang Time, yeah. They were like, are you ladies good?
It's game time all the
They
time.
kept serving us drinks though. But that's how it is every time I see Amy. Is just like I can't get enough of her, and our
Y'all were-
conversations are effortless.
She's definitely
and-
top shelf.
Y'all were acting all innocent. Y'all were like, just come with us to Bearded. We're just gonna hang out there until midnight when they close. No big deal. I was like, okay. I thought about it. I was gonna ride with y'all. And then I'm so glad we got to the parking
Well,
lot. I was like,
have a
you know what? I'm gonna go home. And she told me y'all ended up going to Hang Time and closing that motherfucker down too on a Tuesday night. So I'm so glad I went home because y'all would have held me hostage the whole time.
That's the succession of bars, right? Is it's like, I mean, that's whatever you've explained many of my nights. It's like
I've done
going
that.
from Sweetwater to then you're going to Bearded Monkey, and then they shut down, and then you go to Hang
Well,
Time.
dude, I'll go to Sideways, close it down, and Bearded Monkey again, and then I'll go to Sofrano's across the lake. It's just how it goes.
I'm not a bragger, but I've been known to beat Shelby at darts at hang time.
Is that true?
Excuse me. I was the leading champion. You guys quit because you were tired. Nobody could get the bull.
First of
back.
all, we didn't quit. I help you beat Zach Romo.
You
if
did
we want to
help
be
me
the
on
honest.
a couple of celebrity shots, but for the most part,
So they called me throwing celebrity shots. So let's just say that.
Speaking of Zach Romo and the bar secession of nights like that, if anybody ever asked you to go to Zach Romo's house after the bar is closed, just don't. You watch the sun come up every time.
Yeah, that pretty much means like, would you like to wake up in the morning at Zach Romo's?
Yeah, he won't let you leave. But I will say
You're gonna be
this:
kicking the rooster on the way up.
My God.
I texted him today
He's-
at about 6 and said, "Hey, we're interviewing Shelby today. You should come out." And he said, "I'm still recovering from Saturday night."
I saw him 15 minutes before
That
I
has
got
something to do
here,
with me.
and he is still recovering from last night.
As soon as we walked into Sweetwater yesterday for our meeting, he was like, I was like, I'm sorry. Look, I feel the same about you right now.
but anyhow, Amy's a badass, and
Amy is
she
a badass.
promotes all
Yes,
of
she
us, and she is just like everybody's biggest cheerleader, and
Yeah.
that's why I love you.
I like to say I'm everybody's hype man because I hype everybody up as well, but Amy takes that to a whole new level, honestly. Cheers
She
to
does.
Amy.
Cheers
It's
to Amy.
Yes,
Cheers to
ma'am.
Amy.
And Top Shelf Talent.
And Top Shelf Talent and Top Shelf Radio and everything Top Shelf.
So let's talk about what new music's coming up in the future and what we can look forward to from Shelby Ballenger.
I haven't really written anything new, but I do want to do a re-record of "Messing with a Cowboy." I want to make it like a duet.
Put me in.
But put me in, coach. But I also have this goal of this year to do like a concept album of co-writes. So I want to co-write with Amy, and if any of you guys are down, I have a song with Ariana Ortiz that I haven't released yet, but it's called "I Drink Cheap Wine." So I want to put that on there, and I just want to do more co-writes. I feel like you get a lot more out of it when you're bouncing ideas off other people. Then I get stuck a lot. Like I'll get a really badass verse and half a chorus, and then I'm like, I can't think of anything else.
I'm just now getting to that point where I'm like, okay, I see the beauty in collabing with people. Because when I first started writing music, I was like, no, you're not thinking the same way I'm thinking. You know, like I cut that shit off real quick and be like, nope, I'm just gonna. How about I write a song, you write a song? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Have you done that before? A co-write situation?
I've done a couple co-writes. Yeah.
Shout them out.
It's intimidating, but it's fun. Like me and Ariana have had a couple. She has she had at her mom's house. She had like the whole top floor, and she called it the Lady Lounge. So we wrote songs in there. And my best friend Kristen, she's a phenomenal songwriter. So we've written a couple of songs. Girls Night Out is with Kristen Gatherite.
Okay.
And me and my brother wrote It Just Won't Stop Raining together.
That's a beautiful song, by the way. You played that for us earlier, and wow.
That was badass.
I gotta ask real quick, have you and Lacey ever tried to co-write anything?
We tried, but we also had a lot of safety meetings, and it was like a day by the pool, and we didn't get a whole lot done.
Right.
Other than drinking.
Me and Corey have a lot of safety meetings ourselves, so we understand. It's not very productive. And it could get us
I would love to
fired.
part with Lacey. She's one of my best
She's
friends.
stone cold badass.
I want to talk about this.
Co-writes are where it's at. That's like mixing the paint to do an oil painting. Like you get like pretty shit, beautiful shit.
Yeah.
Co-write
for
with
sure.
people.
Well, it's good to have that second set of eyes on what you're doing. You know, even that, you know.
But
Like I love writing with my brother. He's 6 years older than me, and he pretty much just like tortured me our whole like childhood. Like he would try his WWE moves on me and shit and prank me. Like one morning I woke up and he's like, I made you breakfast. I should have known. So I sit down and it's bacon and
a suplex.
cereal.
No.
My first bite of cereal was dog food. And I was like, you mother. And so I'm like, well, I'm starving, so I'm going to eat this bacon. And the bacon was microwaved bacon strips. Like, that's the shit he did to me growing up.
Damn it.
Well, speaking of wrestling, while we're on it, Austin 316, True Tall Tales and Whiskey, South by Southwest.
So you wrote a song with him though?
But yeah, so then whenever, I turned 21 and we were like partying together and stuff, he kind of mentioned that he had a song that he was writing, which was It Just Won't Stop Raining. And we got together and he just spits out lines like nothing. We have like probably 6 or 7 songs that we haven't completely finished yet. But I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years now and you just want to tell me that you can write some songs? Like, we could have been writing bangers this whole time.
Right.
It's a tough thing, and honestly, like for me, I have a hard time with it. I've been doing it for years, but it's nerve-wracking because for me, it's like you've got to get in this very vulnerable headspace,
Yes.
and then you've got to incorporate somebody else, you know.
And it's hard when like you're dead set on a line and they're like, no, it should be this, and they're like, well, just try it with this, and I'm like, I'll try it, but it sounds stupid. Like, I want this line. We fight over that all the time. We just started a song called "Stealing Time," and it was like banger right out the front, and we got the first verse and the chorus, and then I had to leave, and he was like, promise me right now you will not write another line until you come back over and we finish it together. I was like, bet. Within like 10 minutes of me leaving, he's like, oh, finish the song, and I'm like, no. I was like, then I'm gonna write my version, and then we're gonna see compare notes. But I'm like, you fucker.
You left. He was like, Banger City.
He
I'm writing
did.
right now.
He literally got the laptop out and like sent me a picture of the laptop.
Hey, but
The
did you
full
use
thing.
those lines?
I haven't. Well, honestly, I haven't looked at his lines because I wrote my own.
Just like
I'm
I refuse to read that
With his
one.
trifling ass. He wrote the fucking
Hey, you got to shout your brother out right now.
Derek Ballenger.
There you go.
Shout out Derek.
Hell yeah.
He's a whole handful, but I love him.
All right.
And he's the goofiest man on the planet. Like, if you were to meet him, you're like, this dude. But he can write.
Well,
some
you
good
need to
stuff.
look for the opportunity to cook for him and feed him dog food, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Get
waiting
back.
for like the ultimate prank. It's been stewing for like 15 years now.
Get back. It's crazy.
You haven't gotten him back from that
Maybe
for
on his
15 years.
40th. Well, every time we hang out with his friends, I like just dog on him the whole time. So
I think
I've
the
definitely-
ultimate prank is singing one of his songs and saying you wrote it by yourself at South by Southwest. Like,
no, I can't do that. I gotta give credit where credit's due.
fake it till you make it.
So you played some pretty cool venues, right?
I played some cool spots.
You've done a few full band shows at what, Red River in Dallas?
That wasn't full band, but I got to
Was it?
play
I swear
with
it was.
their band.
Oh, no, I was
Or I
drunk
got to
that
sing
night.
with their band.
I was drunk that night. I was there though for one of them.
That was the most
Physically.
electric thing I've ever done. I mean,
I hate that place.
thousands of people in there, and you're not getting to sing your own songs, but it's all like here for the Gretchen Wilson and
Yeah.
Jody Messina and stuff that everybody knows. And you get the in-ear monitors and wireless mic, and that was so fun.
What are some of your favorite venues you played?
I like Southern Junction
Hell yeah.
because I grew up going there, and that was another manifestation that I had is I would sit there and see like Randy Rogers and everybody I looked up to, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna be up there.
One day, it took me 2 to recover New Year's from hanging out with you.
Oh, New Year's was rough. Stony Lou though, that was a good show.
He killed it. Killed it.
Where else have I played? At my hometown, this will be my 6th year if they have me back, but I've got to open up for Pat Green, Wade Bowen, Casey Donahue, not Dina Carter. Who does I Hope You Dance? Oh,
Sarah something, ain't it?
no.
Evans?
It'll come to me in a minute, but
I know the song. You're making me draw a blank now. You're just casually dropping all these other artists that are badass. Like it wasn't. Like it was just nothing.
that's been a ride. And I can't believe they've asked me back every year. This year, I was like, we got to get some new material because we've been playing the same shit for like 5 years now. But I never have time to practice with my band because I'm hustling every day. So
You're playing shows damn near 6 days a week.
And they're super talented as well, if you want to shout them out.
my band. So when COVID came around, I was with a dude who owned a bar. And so when everything shut down, we basically had like a whole sound system there to practice on. So I held auditions for my band, and the first 3 people that came in have been my band for almost 5 years now.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
And that,
That-
never
dude, that's-
that never happens.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
And they're all so talented. Chandler Whitehead, Ben Camasco, Andy Prine. Andy Prine plays with all kinds of people. He does the Blake Shelton tribute band, and he's known as like a jazz blues drummer. So I know at my shows he's like, this country shit's boring, but
Hey, we're looking forward for you to bring in the full band and do some full band acoustic
awesome.
stuff for us. So
Yeah, I gotta
We've done
bring
some
him
full
out.
band
Let's
broke
jump
down
on
stuff
that.
here before, and it's badass.
I met Ben one time at a show we were all playing, and he's a cool cat, man.
He's so
I really
cool.
dig him. Yeah, he was cool.
and everyone's always responsible. Nobody gets like super hammered or, embarrasses me or anything like that. Like,
Professional.
They are.
Somebody got to be right.
Pro level, as we would
Pro
say.
level, yeah, pro level. Hashtag.
but I mean, it's hard to manage a band. I mean, you're responsible for 3 other people and making sure they're there on time. And
The fact that you've had the same crew that long is impressive, because we've
Yeah.
had many interviews with people that have bands. They're like, yeah, I went to this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. So hell yeah.
I know we're just like a little family now. And Chandler just graduated from nursing school, so I was so scared I was going to lose him because he's out there living his dream, but he's sticking through, and
That's awesome.
I hope he stays, but we'll see. But that man, I mean, I think he's 23. He's so green, but he's so talented. And we've all played together for so long now that like I'll just start the song and it's immediate like chemistry. Everybody's in flow, everybody's good. I mean, it's fun to play acoustic, but it's just something about having a band that's so fun. It's so fun.
she just gave us that "Let's Go Girls" kick. You can see the like shine on your face even when you brag about your band, and that's really cool.
Yeah,
I've
that's
always
cool.
wanted a band. I mean, doesn't everybody want
Yes.
you know,
I
a
do.
band
It's a
fam?
tough
Like,
thing to find that kind
Well,
of.
Brandon wanted 10, but
I got him too.
They got every one of them too.
So what's your hopes and dreams? Like, what would be the ultimate for you? Like the end all be all. At the end of your career, you hit this milestone.
I mean, besides South by Southwest with True Tall Tales and Whiskey, obviously.
Besides that, obvious.
Obviously. I don't know. That's a hard question because I'm pretty much living my dream right now. I get to sing for a living, but I would like to make more money while I sing. That would be nice to not have to play 18,000 shows, just play like one that pays the bills
Yeah,
for a couple
so-
months.
That's actually something I wanted to ask you about, because I've done music full time for a little bit too, and I got to catch a glimpse of what 3 to 5 shows a week on a consistent basis looks like.
Boy.
And I mean, you definitely do see the time just slipping away for, like, you know, like you said, just sitting down and writing new songs. Like, you do have to make time for that and get in the right headspace in order to be productive. And so my thing is, like, how do you feel about that? I mean, do you try to make more time? Do you play less shows, or do you keep playing the same amount of shows and just go harder, or like, how does that work?
I don't
you
know. I mean, I'm obviously not going to slow down on the shows because somebody's got to pay these bills, but it is hard. Like, when you get home, that's the last thing you want to do is pick up a guitar and try to write or sing when you've been doing it for 3-4 hours.
Yeah, and I think the shows thing, you know, you're chasing that high too. You know, like we love being up on that stage. So
She's just trying to feed a labradoodle.
yeah,
Yeah, two
Well,
labradoodles. Trying to feed them 2 big ass dogs.
What are their names?
I remember
I
Willie.
have Willie Nelson and Conway Twitty.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are they? I'm just kidding.
Is this the first podcast they got shout out? Because, like, you were proud.
And
We
it's the
both
part where
know
they
that.
pop
I
up
love
over
them.
here and over here on the screen.
I mean,
I was
I'm-
half expecting you to bring them.
You
oh
have to
my
send me
God,
pictures
there
of
would
them
be
so I can put 'em on the
nothing.
show.
She's like, this is my band.
Conway's pretty chill, but Wild Willie is what I call him. He's
We could have called
I've met him on the patio at Sweetwater before.
exactly.
You're like, hey, will you hold this leash? And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
He's like,
Corey's used to being the one on a leash.
Oh, Lord.
This-
but I've never had that desire to be a mom. I don't know. One, that's the craziest thing, that you're like literally growing a human inside of you. Like, I would just bump my stomach on something and be like, oh my God, something's wrong. I did something. Like, and my anxiety would not allow that. And then I know that, I mean, once you have that kid, it's your whole world, right? Like, it takes a lot of, I wouldn't get to play as much shows or do what I do now if I wanted to be like a good mom. So, but I've always wanted fur babies. So I got William 3 years ago, and then Conway's like 9 months. I don't know what, I just saw him online and he was free, and then I met him, and I was going just to meet him, and they literally popped open the trunk and they're like, here you go, and drove off. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess you're mine now. Like, I thought this was just going to be a little meet and greet, but you're coming with
That's
me.
the wild one.
No, that's the chill one.
That is
okay.
exactly how Corey O'Grady became a part of this podcast. Same story.
Fuck off, Josh.
A trunk popped open. We were taking him.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It was like Hangover style.
We want
Naked
him.
man jumped out afraid, but fuck this intro out.
You mean the outro, dumbass?
Intro out.
All of
Intro out. Before we do that,
He's been going. Never mind,
other than, of course, our badass show out in Austin, Texas, at Darwin's Pub and Piano Bar. What shows do you have coming up that you're looking forward to before we close out? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, obviously, I get to play with my gal pal and open up for Zane Williams. I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, I'm playing a lot of the same venues I always play, but now I've kind of gotten, like, the past 12 shows that I've played, someone has came to see me, whether it be like my cousin or just last weekend, my photographer from 12 years ago, he lives in Ohio now, like, he popped in. Like, I'm finally getting, like,
Hell yeah.
I guess a fan base, so I look forward to seeing familiar faces at all my shows.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
in Austin,
In Austin,
March 16th.
Amy's coming. I have a couple of people who want to make the drive for me, and I mean, that's like the ultimate
Right.
love. Like, you want to
Yes.
drive 4 or 6 hours
Yes.
just to see me play? Like, that's
We're
so
all-
awesome.
We're all driving for you. We're fans of yours. Shit.
I love that.
I'm gonna
I
try
love
to
you
make
guys
it.
a lot,
I'm definitely gonna try to make it.
I'll do my best.
but I
They're
appreciate
gonna have
you
to
guys
throw-
having me on.
They're going to have to throw me
Most
back in the
definitely.
trunk and take me out there.
It's
I'm
been-
starting my rap career, so that's why all y'all lost 5 minutes of y'all's gig. Spoilers out.
I'm not gonna lie.
We want to
I
bring
would
people
pay to see
in.
that.
Yeah, I would give it up.
We want to bring people in, not run them out.
You heard it here first.
Y'all are canceling me right now?
Josh.
I'm like, this is happening.
There's so
On
many things you
air.
could.
No, we're putting you on.
Yeah, we're putting you on.
Well, I just signed with Top Shelf Talent, so just
Amy's like,
You better get it right.
they're in
Hey,
the corner like, no, we didn't.
freestyle a little bit for us.
Please don't make him do that on the podcast.
No,
Not on the podcast.
that led to my first two
Oh, I
kids.
thought he was about to do it.
That's why I know you'd be good at it.
Yeah, I've been paying ever since.
Have y'all ever been asked to freestyle? It's the scariest thing because
I just do it.
like I've been in a room and everybody's like freestyling lyrics or like doing little raps and I'm like in my head I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm going in. And then every time you go, it's like everything leaves you.
You just gotta let it. You just gotta
Dude.
pick a easy word to start off with. And just
They're lying to y'all. Stop freestyling. We need more forklift drivers. Like, I don't know what they're trying to tell y'all. But
freestyle about forklift driver right now.
We got drunk out here one night with Cole Dagan and his band, and they started playing some blues riffs. And for some reason, I decided to get on the microphone. And I went for like 5 minutes just roasting his entire band with some blues music. And Martin said he has the footage, but I'm so glad I haven't seen it.
And you can get that footage on our Patreon if you subscribe to our monthly subscription.
or my OnlyFans. Either one. One of the
If
other.
you would also like to see Josh's butthole.
No, you
Josh-
can pay me not to show it.
Josh pays people to subscribe to his OnlyFans.
Corey, you are my only subscriber.
You're literally his only fan.
Yeah, literally. You're like just me asleep and Corey blowing at me.
I'm done with y'all. Anyhow, thank you guys for letting me come jam.
Say it, Corey. We love you, Shelby.
out.
We love you.
I love
Nope.
you guys.
I'm going to keep my jokes for the next one. Fuck Josh Greathouse.
Damn it, boy.
Hey,
I recommend that.
go ahead and fuck this outro up.
I'm glad you at least said outro, not intro out.
I'm glad.
Stupid ass motherfucker.
Outro. Never mind.
Your IQ stopping your fucking height, dude.
Well,
Anyways, thank y'all
you
again.
definitely don't need to be spreading
Shut
your
up!
seeds anymore.
Stop talking. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey.
Boom.
Morgan Walmart.
Think a highball glass is half full, the grass is greener, till the bottle's rolling on the floor. You know the whiskey makes you meaner. Indigo skies and violet eyes got me losing my breath. Maybe if I died tonight, he'd understand. Sometimes it feels like the sun is shining. It's big and yellow in that Texas sky. You think it's all rainbows and clovers. Well, Johnny Walker it walks in and you've had enough. Your boy cheap bib in a Dixie cup colors. The first goodbye feels like a nosedive. Black hole can't see a thing. When I wake up in the morning, that bluebird won't sing. You might see a deep red rose and just think it's a pretty flower. I see a sea of thorns that goes on for hours.